Hey, what's up, y'all, man? This is JP, the Creator Man, here for episode 15 of YeahManThePodcast. Today I'm with Ben Awesome Newsom and the Queen Jacqueline.
Yes, you are now tuned in to Queen Jacqueline, also known as Jacqueline Jackson, also known as Queen Jacqueline, to family, friends, and former Jackie, to the ones that love me the most, some mama, granny, and Aunt Jackie. How y'all doing over there?
Man, we doing awesome,
Doing great tonight. How are you?
I am there. What's the subject for tonight, y'all? What we talking about?
Tonight we're talking about why men keep certain women secret. And vice versa. Why women keep certain men secret.
Well, can I give my opinion on why men keep women secret?
Go ahead. We're listening.
I believe men keep women secret because they still are seeking other options.
Okay.
Also, I believe that they may have one main one that they really care about, but have other relationships that possibly are for one reason or another. Could be for could be for sex. He might like that other one. Could be for relationships with family that he's holding on to another one. Could be financial for another one. However, the main one that he cares and loves about, he probably keep a secret because he don't want to mess that up. What you think?
Okay. I could agree with that. But sometimes I feel like me being a male myself, that's my check. I keep some secret because some are just like you know how you say you really want to take around your homeboys, your friends, especially your mama because she just don't act right. That's how I feel. Like some just don't have that, and I guess act right isn't the right word. They put on it. They show their true colors right away.
Right.
And it's like, if your true colors show to me right away, they gonna show to my mom right away, and my mom gonna call it out quick. And my mom, she calls it out quick. And she'll tell you, boy, you might want to watch out for that one. And I'm like, what you talking about, mom? You know. And I get it now. I'm like, yeah.
And it's kind of embarrassing, man. Like when. Like, you know, like, I always felt like this. Like, if I'm on a date with you, or you're on a date with a male, or you on a date with somebody, I always feel like if you're on a date, then it should be about the person you're on a date with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, even if you thought somebody else is attractive, I mean, you should be about that person. That person has set, like, a scheduled time to be with you, and you should respect that. And like when they don't respect that and they give Google eyes to other people, that's like really disrespectful, and it puts them in a situation where like, what are you gonna do? You know, are you gonna check them? Because you got to do something. You know that. So it's like, what do I do? Check them? Do I leave? Do I just act like I didn't see that? What do you do? And that's uncomfortable, man. And
right.
It shouldn't happen.
Right.
You know, so if I don't, let's say we go on a date and I don't even feel you, then I should make it some way where it's like either you and me a friend, or make it to be where I just don't call you anymore. But it shouldn't be like you in a restaurant and let's say you go to some place like Cheddar where it's a lot of people, or used to be a lot of people, and you just put that person on blast. That's not cool.
Well, here's my question, JP.
Okay.
If you're putting them in a friend, if you're putting them in a friend zone.
It's that type of situation where it was embarrassing being in a restaurant and someone actually was talking to the waiter and just went ziggity boom. So what I've learned is if that's someone in which I cannot deal with, or if that's someone in which I feel as if are going to cause a scene, I guess what? I remove myself from that situation to where it's not pleasing to me. I remove myself from that situation so I don't have to deal with it in the first place if that's not the type of person I choose to be with. Why even continue the relationship if that's the type of person that you know you're not going to want to take home to mama? Why continue that relationship if you know that's not the type of characteristic that you want to be on your arm and to portray? So whatever you deal with and however you handle different people, for myself, is a representation of me.
Okay.
Why would you do that?
So what about if you? Because I was going to ask JP is if you let's say you go out with somebody and you automatically figure out from the jump that they're not going to be that romantic partner that you were, or not necessarily a romantic partner, maybe just a partner in general. They might end up just being a good friend. How do you portray that without ruining the rest of the night? Because they set aside a certain time, place, and date for you to go out on a date with them, and then go out on a date with you. How do you kind of like break it to them? Like, okay, I'm not feeling you like that, and without like blatantly, I guess, flirting with the waitress or somebody else, and trying to show other interest, because that to me that's completely disrespectful. And I wouldn't do that. Like I'm not going to go on a date with somebody, even if I don't find that person to be what I'm looking for, so to speak. I'm not going to disrespect them and be like looking at the waitress or looking at somebody else. Like, how do you handle that? How would you handle it?
For myself, if it's a person that's a friend that I'm not feeling as far as publicly,
right?
Why not put candles at home? Why not order Uber or food takeout, however they have it, to come to the house? Or why not just cook and have a nice setting at the home with a movie and enjoy your time privately if you want to avoid those type of complications? Me personally, for myself, I'm not going to waste my time with somebody that I know I'm not attracted to.
But what about
That's for me.
What about if you don't know yet? Like it's like a blind date or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, with a blind date, you live and you learn.
Okay. You got me on that. Okay, yeah.
It's called a blind date. So I guess you just have to go with the flow until you realize what's good and what's not. So I guess that's my answer to that one.
The best example for me, man, is this was a long time ago, man, and I think I was in my early 20s, and I got on the chat line, and I didn't have a Valentine's Day, you know what I mean? And it was a girl I met on the chat line, and I just went over her house for Valentine's Day, and she was a nice looking girl, and we talked, and she said she drunk E&J, and we had E&J, and we talked, and then she invited me to go to a club the next day, and she never called. But that was like one of the best days I ever had, because we really talked to one another, and it just, some people in your life for a season, and some people are in your life forever. You know what I mean? So I really had a good time there. But I think the best thing is you got to look at them and say, if I was in that situation, what would I do? I know that I'm getting told by some girls that if you wasn't big, I would talk to you. And it was one girl I really liked it, and I was working with her, and she told me that. I'm like, wow. And instead of saying something like that, she just said, hey, well, me and you can just be friends. You're a nice guy, and we could have a good time. Now talk, but then there's certain things you can say when you're out with that person that let them know you're not romantically into them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I went out one time and the girl told me about somebody that she liked at a job. So then I'm like, okay, and we had talked and went out to dinner and stuff like that, but it was like I knew that she wasn't interested in me in that way, because she talked about somebody that she was interested in her job, and it was cool.
So to me, that's a waste of time though, because if I've taken my time and energy to ask you to go somewhere, that's basically telling me she's keeping me a secret from everybody else, but she's willing to waste my time and spend my money to take her out to talk about somebody else she likes.
Well, see, in that situation, also I say who pays. So to me,
did she pay?
a lot of times she did.
Okay.
So it was back and forth.
So it was Dutch. So y'all had that understanding.
Right. And it was Dutch, and it was cool. You know what I mean? Because she was real nice.
Mm-hmm.
It never got to that point where I'm kissing you, I'm grabbing you, or nothing like that.
It never got to that point where
hey, that's
like in Hitch where he said go 90, she go come another 10.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Queen, what you think about that?
I actually think that some people go out for different reasons.
Okay.
You may be going out for a romantic, setting to get to know someone, to even try to see if you can build a relationship. While on the other hand, the next person may be going out just for company, just for a listening ear, just for companionship, just for a friendship, just for someone to listen and be able to talk to, because maybe they're not able to communicate or have friends to communicate with them by inviting them on what you would call a date. For them, it may be companionship, friendship. You're on two different levels. So, first of all, you may need to see what their reasoning is for even going on a date. It may be for two different reasons. They just may need to vent. They just may need to have someone sweet and nice, a gentleman, to accompany them as they vent and talk. Okay. So you have to make sure that you're on what their reasoning is for even coming. That's why I don't believe when going on a date that it's proper to speak on other people, other men, other relationships. That right there is already a red flag. Why? Because you're bringing other people into the relationship before it even starts.
Right.
So with that being said, you have to find out what the reason it is for the date. Is it companionship? You just need somebody's friendship, or you just hungry and want me to pay for it? What's the reason why you're here?
So before
mine is I'm looking for a romantic.
So
yours could be you looking for someone in a romantic setting to spend time with.
So let me ask you this question. So do you feel that you should establish that before you go out?
I feel you should. That's going to come along while going out. Right. But you need to. I believe yes. Honestly, I do. Well, I'm asking you out because I think you're a nice person. I think you're sweet, and I'm actually looking for a companion. Some may be honest enough to say, looking for no relationship right now. I just need a friend or somebody to talk to. So maybe like, I'm looking for the exact same thing. Let's do it.
Cool.
Yeah, I've had that. I've always been a straightforward person. Now, I'd rather you tell me up front instead of me wasting my time. To me, a waste of time is when you waste my time, it's just like wasting my money. And that's two things I can't get back. I can't get my money back. I can't get my time back. Time you definitely can't get back.
I feel like you can get your money back.
It's not how much I spend; it's how much time I spend.
I got you.
And the money kind of goes along with it. And to me personally, and Queen, you can tell me if you agree with this. It's not where we go; it's the conversation and time I spend with you at the place we were at. So it can be at a ritzy restaurant, which I don't care for, or it can be a Red Robin, which I love. And Red Robin is not expensive.
I kind of like
Red Robin, yum.
I kind of. Man, they gonna write you a check, man. No, man. You know what though? I like ritzy restaurants. I'm gonna tell you what.
I hate them.
I love them. I feel like if you got somebody that know how to act, because see, I'm the type of person like this. Like when I'm out, a lot of times I like cooking, but a lot of times, man, like when you in real estate, it's like some places close at 5.
Right.
And so you gotta do. It's a lot of stuff you gotta do in a small period of time sometimes. And so I'll go like to Red Robin, or I'll go to McDonald's, I'll go to like a Mexican restaurant. You know, it's different restaurants I frequent. Sometimes if I feel like I made a little money, I'll go to Olive Garden or something, you know what I mean? So when I go to a risky restaurant, like, I can't even say that. You know, like the Brazilian steakhouse, what's that called?
Some. I know there's a bunch of them.
Chow Gaucho, whatever.
Tamagotchi. Yeah, I don't deal with it.
I feel like when I go to a place like that with somebody, I'm experiencing the experience. You know what I mean? And if they don't want to, take it there, I'm cool with it. But it's like, let's have a good time. You know what I mean? That's me. And so, because it's like, sometimes with me, I just want to have a good experience. I want to remember I went to this really nice restaurant with this really nice person.
Well, I got a story for you.
Okay.
That picture you see right there on my coffee table, right?
Right. That's
me and Rebecca. We were at the Towers of America. We both hated it.
Okay.
Hated it. Because they had no burgers.
Well, why you don't go to eat burgers at a restaurant?
Bruh, I don't do risky restaurants. I'm telling you, because it's not about the restaurant. It's about the conversation, the time I'm having with you. It doesn't matter if I'm at McDonald's. It doesn't matter if I'm at Starbucks. I'm here to have a conversation time with you. So that time, it was a 6-month anniversary or whatever. So we went to Towers of America. We spent I spent $100.13.
Cool.
For 2 steaks.
Okay.
A scoop of mashed potatoes.
Cool.
And some fountain water. and a lava cake, bro.
Because that Tower of America.
But okay, so the view was great.
Okay.
The view was great and the service was great. But the food was like, what the hell is this?
I'm gonna say that
we had a great time and we both agreed.
That's what it's about.
And yes, and we both agreed, never again.
Okay. So this is my experience, and I'll let you speak. Okay. So I went out with somebody to, chow
Tamagotchi or whatever.
And what I liked about it was that I got to experience like different type of food I never want to eat. You get a little dressed up, which I don't really get dressed up a lot.
You're dressed up right now.
I know because I had this shirt on and I had to do laundry. But
gotcha.
So I just kind of felt like I wanted to do something a bit different.
All right.
And so with me being in real estate, man, a lot of times, man, I dress according to the situation. So if I know if I'm going to like a house and it's like a rehab house and it's really messy, I'll just go out and dress in shirt and something and go at it. So it kind of depends. So when you go out to a really nice place and she dressed up and you dressed up, it's like cool. You know what I mean? And then you gonna wonder what's gonna happen. And so if you hit the jackpot, it's cool. You know
okay, what's the jackpot though?
You know what a jackpot is.
Okay, we got kids watching the show sometimes. So
okay.
we got some Laverne Sweat and Gill on. Laverne Sweat and Gill, man, that on.
Probably much. Man.
My body.
My body.
Hallelujah. Oh, it's your body, baby. Okay,
okay.
What you think, Queen?
What was your question?
What I was gonna say is,
I was laughing at y'all because y'all are so goofy. First of all, if you get someone that's dancing classy, they are not going to automatically want to be on that level. Especially if you haven't got to know them. Hey, why are you even thinking about as far as going to Red Lobster with someone that you haven't even really held a conversation with worthy of that's known, that has gotten to know, communicate with, got to see if their character and characteristics meet yours.
Damn sure.
First of all, conversate over the phone. You're going to get to know just about everything you need to know through a phone. If that's going to even feel worthy enough to take to the next level. Second of all, it's free to go to a park. Have a picnic. Sometimes I've had picnics that have been much more romantic than even being in a Luby's or a Red Lobster or any of those restaurants. I'm telling you, get to know the person's characteristics. See if their vibe is vibing with you versus just wanting to communicate and vent. You have to get to know a person in conversation, first of all, and the rest will come as a flow with it. You'll know if that's the type of person you want to take on your arm and dress up nicely and be in public with versus someone that's crazy in hood, whatever you like. Some men love crazy hood women. That's ghetto fabulous. Some people do. It's all dependent on the vibe that you have in conversation you have with that female to allow you to know if the next level for spending much money is worth it. Get to know a person first versus wanting to automatically take them somewhere nice or somewhere of expertise. Do that.
Do
You have to get to know a person first.
Do you feel like it's? Do you feel like
that's my advice?
Do you feel like it's instilled? You kind of blew us away on that one. Do you feel like it's? And my mind's kind of blown right now because I always thought that way. I was like, but I was like, a park is free. I like to hike and do all kind of things like that. Go on walks and people say nature walks and all that because they always kind of build themselves up, and then all of a sudden you say let's go on a walk or a nature walk. And, oh, it's too hot. But it's too hot. I ain't trying to mess my hair up. Like, really? You said you like nature walks, but you don't want to go on, it's going to cause you to be out in nature. You're going to sweat a little bit. Like, it happens. But my question, do you feel like it's instilled, like, in this culture today that you have to take her to a nice place and you have to, wine and dine her or she's like, oh, do you feel like it's kind of like that it's like,
no, finish your question.
Do you feel like it's kind of like a norm now for a woman to expect a male to take her to a nice place and wine and dine her, and then she'll figure out from there whether she wants to or not. He'll figure out if he wants to take her home to mama. He's like, well, I spent $100, but she ain't worth taking home to mama, so I ain't calling her again. And she's like, well, he took me out, gave me a nice date, but I ain't feeling this, so I ain't calling him back anyways. Which, again, is like, to me, it's a waste of time. Do you feel like it's instilled by, like, the what we see today? I'm not saying necessarily just parents, but just what we see today. They take her out to a nice place, buy her thousands of roses, which I don't understand that mess, because you got to clean up all them daggone roses when you get done.
Once again, it depends on a person's characteristics, personality, and if they know their worth.
Okay.
Me personally, for me, I would say once again, get to know, have conversations with the person and see what their likes and dislikes are, see what their dreams are, see what their ambitions are, see what it is in which they feel it takes to have a very loving relationship, if that's what they want. If that's what they're seeking, if that's what they're desiring. Different people have, like I said, different strokes for different folks. Some people just want you to, I've heard some females say, I don't have to go to no nice restaurant. You ain't got to give me no roses. Just put me in the back seat, let the feet down, and it's going down. I've heard that, and I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
And some people say, oh no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. It's going to have to take him to have to really chase after me in order for me to really be with them. And then other people may say, hey, I want a wholesome conversation. They can't get it easy. They're going to have to work for it. I want a loving relationship, and I want a great desire. I'm talking about, oh my God, sexual relationship to where it is amazing. But yet, he's not going to come easy. Some people, different strokes for different folks. You have to see conversate with a person to see where they are and what their desires are in order to meet them accordingly.
Okay.
Get to know a person once again. Get to know, conversate. There's nothing wrong with conversate. You ain't gonna just pull out your wallet and go hard right on the first date without knowing what their desires are. They may not even feel as if they're worth it that much.
Okay, but this is another thing I wanted to say about the
Get
hiking.
to know a person, as I said once again.
But the hiking.
Conversation rule of nature. Let's do it.
But the hike.
Communicate.
But the hike and the picnic. To me, man, that's like not a first date. You were saying like that's the first date. I think that's like a second date. I think your first date should be something like the movie, man. And then let me say like.
But you ain't talking about movies.
Let me say that. But that's cool. That's cool because like when you go to the movie, I understand that. The reason why I say that, man, is because the movies is like sometimes you can't tolerate human beings.
Right.
Okay, so if they can stand in the movies and kind of just watch there and not act a fool and not make a scene, and to see what you went. Well, we don't want to say the movies is because it's really not about you. It's about how y'all interact with one another. It's like how can you say it? It's like the like body language and stuff. It's like little stuff. So let's say, for example, and I say she dressed up real hot to that movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that could mean like she likes you or she just dressed like that. So then if she dressed up real nice to the movies, you like, okay, cool, maybe she feeling it. So then, you see if she's on you or she like looking to be seen. You know what I mean? Because some women stop traffic. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is they get attention. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about like people like Beyonce and Marilyn Monroe, and I don't think they were the most attractive women in the world. They nice, but they stop traffic. And the woman that stopped traffic is something about her that stopped traffic. Like a lot of people in the Rihanna. And a lot of people think Rihanna's hot. She's a nice looking girl. But she don't stop.
Like, for
some dudes, she do. So a lot of dudes, Rihanna stop traffic. She's a nice looking girl, but she don't stop traffic for me. You see what I'm saying? So like when I, since I'm what I do on the first date, I try to go somewhere. I like the movies on the first date because you get to see what they like. Are they gonna pay? Are they gonna offer to pay? Are they appreciative? Can I sit in this movie with them for 2 hours?
Right.
Are they gonna put their leg on me? Are they gonna try to cuddle with me? Are they gonna try to do this? And it's just like you get to see if they kind of feel you in like because you're out in public.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then it ain't about you, it's about the movie with you to go see. So then it's like, okay, well, he took me to a movie I like to go see. And we going home. Okay, or y'all going to a dinner or whatever. Then the second one you can get a little bit more creative. You can say, I never did a picnic and I've been asked.
I never have neither.
And I've been asked a lot. The picnic, I've been asked on hikes.
Ants and all that.
And the reason why I don't do picnics, man, because it's like a level of preparation that's on another level.
Yeah, all the ice and all that stuff.
We ain't about the ants. You know what I mean?
I said ants. Well, the ants are gonna be there.
Right.
That's their territory because you come up in their home, setting up your little.
But it ain't. But see, you know what it is about me? Is that when I cook or prepare food, man, I get kind of emotional about it. So like if you tell me my food is garbage, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So
when I stab you a little bit,
you stabbed and you turned or something.
Turn it.
Yeah, you turned it. So if you say what, and that's why I never went on picnics, man. Hikes, man. I didn't go on hikes because nah, man.
Man, sandwiches.
I even thought about getting fast food.
Sandwiches have ruled the world in picnics, bro. I've never seen.
Yeah.
What cartoon have you ever seen where they'll make a sandwich?
Sandwiches are whack, bro.
Bro,
I mean, they're not whack.
We go back to Tom and Jerry days, okay? Sandwiches.
If you ever want peanut butter jelly sandwich, I'm like, come on.
I'm gonna eat Uncrustable, call it a day.
You gonna do what?
I'm gonna eat my Uncrustable, call it a day.
You gonna do what?
Uncrustable.
What you mean by that?
Miss Queen, you know what Uncrustable is?
Hell no.
What is it?
Uncrustable with the peanut butter and the jelly in there. And it's alright. It's closed in. Uncrustable. You know what Uncrustable? Stop playing, bro. Stop playing, bro. Man, you know what? We gotta have a whole show on Uncrustables, man. Anyway.
Is that this shit you buy in the store?
Yes, bro. It's like 10 packs in there. You just eat I gotta bust it out, bust you out a cup of milk, and you good to go. Like, you ain't got to.
You just went to KFC or something about something there.
What? Why would you get on? You said peanut butter and jelly.
I don't like peanut butter and jelly, bro.
What you mean? You ain't black, bro. Yeah, give me a card, dog. Give me a card.
I eat chicken.
Give me a black card.
I eat chicken, bro.
With the milk yesterday, so don't start tripping.
I don't like peanut butter and jelly, bro.
I eat that still.
That's what I'm saying.
Peanut
Like,
butter and jelly, bro. Is something wrong with that?
yes. You ain't black.
I am black as hell. No, but
I'm gonna keep you a secret, dog.
JP, you are a secret. I ain't gonna do the show then.
Look, we might have to keep JP on the show, man, because he's a secret now, because he don't eat peanut butter and jelly. He lost his black card.
How do I love my black card? I eat chicken, bro.
Yeah, bro. What? I don't know. Not near black family and don't eat peanut butter and jelly.
Man, do you eat the lunch meat though?
You damn right eat lunch meat.
Okay, well if you eat the lunch meat is more black than peanut butter.
Which one? Bologna?
Yes.
You damn right eat bologna.
Okay, all right.
Let's ham and cheese any day.
Thank you.
Some sausage crackers with some.
Nah, she said crackers. She said crackers. That's a lot.
The Ritz crackers?
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Anyway, we can all subject. Okay, so here's my question I had. What, keep man secret now?
How you gonna keep me secret?
My mom already know about you though, so it's it don't matter. So
alright.
Whatever. You ain't secret anyway. Anyway.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I got you, though. We good. We gonna play fancy and everything together. We're gonna see each other mission games, so it's all good. Anyways, what I was gonna ask is
the mission is a good day.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Mission's a good day. So my thing is like, you take her on a date or whatever, and I know you can't talk in the movie, so it's not really necessary it's not about her, it's like how she acts.
Right.
And if she, because they all have that, I'm gonna act right on the first date. You know what I'm saying? They have that act right at first.
I think if a fool's a fool, they're a fool constantly.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. So it's like, how do you know what date is it that you like decide where are you gonna be a friend and she's gonna be like that secret? Is she gonna be a secret or is she gonna be let known to the public? When do you decide that? When is that decided? Is it decided decided during a date? Is it decided after a couple months, couple weeks? When is it decided that this person is going to be talked about? Because you,
I
for
think
instance,
this is decided. Some people may already have in their mind. It could be decided before any day. It could be decided with first conversations on if you want to be open or not. It's decided. See, that's where, once again, conversation comes in. That honesty has to be in place.
that is
you
true.
You have somebody, you have a friend, or you may not have anyone at all. It depends on that person. In order for you to really know, you need to conversate. Ask them, hey, are you free? Are you open? Am I the only one? Are we just having a conversation on, do you need would you like to be friends, or are you looking for more? You have to ask. You have to conversate about it.
Don't know if you don't ask, right?
Assuming that somebody wants a loving relationship without asking questions on if they're free to do so or if they're willing. That's the answer. Willing to do so.
Right.
Are you going to bring, without knowing something, are you going to take my mom the next day? Well, it ain't happened in my case. But are you willing? You just have to conversate. Secrets. women and men being secret sideliners. When do you decide that? That's all up to each and every individual that's going through it. I don't know.
Well, there's a certain
What
friend
do you think?
I think that, because I have a friend like that she told me straight up, like, well, you know, Ben, you're my friend. And we never established that where I'm like, you know, I'm like, well, yeah, we cool, you know. I was like, we cool. I don't have a whole lot. To me, I don't use that friend. I don't use that word lightly. If I call you my friend, then you're actually I talk to you. You actually answer the phone when I call you. You know, we speak on a regular basis. And I have a lot of associates, and then I have coworkers. And I made a video about this about a year ago. Matter of fact, I was talking about it. And she said, you have friends, you have associates, and then you have coworkers. And I'll put you in one of those three categories. I have a lot of coworkers. I have a lot of associates. I have very few friends. JP is a friend.
Thank
you. You know, I have another friend named Derek. I have another friend named Chris. I'm kind of on the ropes right now because he's a policeman. And I said something that he didn't necessarily agree with. So I tried to call him and talk to him about it. He didn't answer the phone. I'm like, dude, you gonna let me drive to Fort Worth and cuss you out because you don't want to talk about something that I said. We know each other since we were 5. So if you have a problem with something I said, you talk to me. He knows that already, but I was like, I'm gonna let it slide. But when I see him again, or I'm just gonna tell his mom, like, you know what? Chris ain't talking to me, so I'm not understanding what's going on.
Chris, all you talk to Ben, he's awesome, Newsome, man.
Yeah, I'm awesome Newsome, man. Like, you can't talk to your boy. It's all good, man. You know, I shout out to the Fort Worth police. Y'all doing your thing, and all police, men, women, anybody that's out there putting their life on the front lines. I work on front lines. I work in mental health. I work in a hospital. So all these frontline workers and essential workers, shout out to all y'all. And just everybody out there just dealing with this pandemic in general. That's my little rant for that. But
and to the veterans and to the veterans.
And the veterans. Happy belated Veterans Day. I'm sorry about that. You veterans too. And those of you that are past and current and, you know, present. But anyways, the friend that I had, she calls me her friend. I don't. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna put her name out there because I ain't trying to blast her, but I'm not gonna blast her. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna blast her. I'm not gonna blast her because she called me her friend. She called me her friend, and for her, I consider her a friend that I won't bring around a lot of people. I gotta kind of ease her in because she's rough. To say the least, she's a little rough, and she doesn't know when to kind of like put on her. How do you say? She don't know how to put on her like her other.
Sophistication,
ma'am.
Her sophistication?
Yes, her sophistication. She doesn't act sophisticated like he did. There's a way to act sophisticated and be sophisticated and learn it, but she just kind of glorifies that kind of like that ghetto-ness. And it's like that's the one I kind of keep secret from everybody. Like, yeah, I know her, I talk to her, but
you know, it's the difference between being ghetto and being rude, and that's what I mean by that.
Well, what did you say? She's ghetto or rude? Because, I mean, you spoke to her.
I would kind of say she's a little bit of both.
Okay.
And I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk about it. But, you know, it's the difference between being ghetto and rude. Like, a ghetto person, it's... Okay, let me say this. It's different between being hood and ghetto.
Okay.
Okay, so a hood person, you know, you go, you know, like Jack in the Box is ghetto.
Okay.
Churches is hood. Okay. This is what I mean. Churches stay open, and you know they're gonna be open, and then they ain't gonna have the damn chicken ready. You know what I mean? You gotta wait 15 damn minutes at a church, at a chicken place for some chicken. But that's all y'all serve though, bro. Cool. That's good. But you know you're gonna get your chicken in 15 minutes. Ghetto is that damn Jack in the Crack that you drive to the drive-through about 5 times and nobody answering, and then you drive through the window and somebody that's just chilling, eating tacos and shit. That's good. That's ghetto. That's good. I think your hood friends that get you through some situations. Cause they tell you, don't go over there. Your ghetto friend will go over there and get you shot. So, and that's the difference.
So who do you keep secret? The hood friend or the ghetto friend?
The hood friend, people don't like them. They're gonna be like, oh, that little hood, but they cool. Cause the hood friend, they know how to act.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know, churches, they know they serving that chicken. They gonna hook you up. They gonna be a little bit later because Pablo didn't put the damn chicken in the fry. Right. But he might have been busy. All right. Pablo Juan at the damn Jacqueline box, he don't give a shit. He out there telling his friend and like, I don't care. So you ain't gonna get your taco. We ain't got no taco. They got like a whole refrigerator taco. Because they don't want to put it on there. And they don't. At every place, you got to be appreciative. Like if a woman like you, if a man like you, if somebody want to date you or like you in that way, and they approach you that way, I feel like you always got to be appreciative of it. Whether you reciprocate or not. You know what I mean? You always got to be appreciative of it because it may be a time when nobody likes you. Okay. And I've had that moment so far. And I had a friend that said this, man. My friend Felix, he said it when he went to Bragg. He said, man, that it was some girls he was cool with, and they weren't all that good looking at the time. And then when they graduated, the girl was like, wow. And they always felt him because he was cool. They always felt him because he was cool. And so then he got an opportunity. Right. So a lot of dudes, I met girls and they wasn't hot at the time, but puberty kicks in and they bang. You know what I mean? So, but I just think like with the hood and the ghetto, man, a hood person, they from the east side, they from the west side, they've been in that environment. I'm from the north of the east. I'm from the north of the east. But they've been around the environment, you know what I mean? And so they know what hood is, they know, but they know how to act. Right. You know what I mean? You might look at him like, that dude hood though, he cool though. Right. And but a ghetto person can be raised in Stone. They can be raised in Alamo Heights. They just don't. They know how to act, but they just do not care. You can take them out together, but you can't take them out. They just do not care. So then, if you got a girl like that, and she look alright, she banging, then you call her up at 12:00 and see what it do. That's the ghetto one. That's the ghetto one. The hood one be like, hey man, hey, I got a barbecue. Hey, you want to come? Cool. You know what I mean? And she was dressing something appropriate. So it's like Boys in the Hood when Dope Boy came back from jail. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. But there's some girls, man, I consider myself a hood, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to say what I got to say. But I think people respect that. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I think what got me so much with Trump, that Trump is a good example, is that you the president, but you don't know how to talk about nothing. You know what I mean? You don't know how to talk right. And I don't want to get into politics, but you don't know how to talk right. Yeah, I'm not going to get into politics. And you always, like, we can see a bad girl, and I can't just walk up to her like, damn, girl, you got some urge on you. That ain't cool. You know what I mean? She knows she got ass. But she know that. She know what she got. But then, you can walk to her like, damn, you got it going on. See what I'm saying? And that's a different way. What you think, Queen Jacqueline?
It goes back once again to characteristics for me. It goes back once again to upbringing. All of that plays a part. It goes back to a woman in her work. Period. I wish a person would come up to me with all that extra talking about you back. I ain't trying to hear that because I'm a correct you. I'm gonna put my hand up and be like, excuse me. You can't come to me like this. Okay. However, it's been times in which I was feeling that person before they was feeling me, and I'd be like, So it depends on the person in their mannerism and their characteristics. Period. I'm telling you, it's hard to decipher because I'm not gonna knock one over the other. I'm not gonna knock good. I'm not gonna knock ghetto. I'm not gonna knock bougie. I'm not gonna knock none of them because everyone has their own personality. For you, it may be, hey, you may want somebody classy and jazzy, someone sophisticated. Hey, that's you. Yet and still, you may get that inside out, they're lacking something. Then that good person may come along and love you to life. She hood crazy as a road, but she loves you. You know what I mean? And she meets your needs. So for me, I really cannot decipher or even give an opinion on hood, ghetto, sophisticated, educated. Can't do it because everybody is their own person. They have their own personalities. They have their own feelings, which are all valid. So it depends on you.
Okay.
And what you decide, what you feel you can deal with, what you can't.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I have seen some men of high class that will say, I ain't never get with nobody that's road and ghetto and da-da-da-da-da. But yet still, there was doctors, lawyers that live at home, but drive to the hood to go find a hood bro that gives them what they desire away from home. So I'm not going to, I have no opinion on this, that, and the other. I'm going to be honest with you because you just never know. Again, different strokes for different folks.
Okay.
I've seen it. I've witnessed it. And have even encountered. So, each his own. Each his own.
Well, what do you consider hood and what do you consider
really?
Ghetto?
That's my opinion.
And what do you consider bougie?
Excuse me?
Okay, what do you consider hood? What do you consider ghetto? And what do you consider bougie?
I'm all of that. In my own way. I believe hood could possibly be someone that is outspoken that I don't know. That's a good question for me. Hood is somebody maybe that have wrong. This is just only my opinion. I don't have to be right. It could be someone that have grown up in the hood that knows the streets that may have, sold some drugs. That may have even used drugs. That may have the type of characteristics to where they want to say they pants and hang low. That that's packing. I'm just giving an idea. I don't have to be right, but this is just my opinion.
Right.
Ghetto could be someone that also grew up in the hood. They talk crazy, don't care what they say. They don't know how you take it. That is straight up, no filter. Sophisticated, maybe someone that does speak eloquently, hold back on profanity, and that may display more of I would say, proper characteristic in which they speak eloquently, they look at the words in which, they pay attention, they think before they say, they care for others' feelings, so on and so forth. So that's just my opinion of the difference on hood, ghetto, and sophistication.
But
How about yours?
See, okay, I do mine over real quick. Hood to me is that person that's from their neighborhood. They love their neighborhood. Cause I love the East Side, man, because it teaches you so much. It's like I felt like when I had somebody that lived next to me that was a different race, they my neighbor, so I'm gonna learn to, I'm gonna learn about them. I'm gonna appreciate them. Like my neighbor give me canned food, and I don't like canned food, but I'm gonna eat it because she gave it to me out of kindness, and she didn't have to give me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a hood person. Ghetto person gonna be like, why you give me that shit? And that's not cool. That's not cool. A bougie person to me is not, the bougie person to me if somebody, they got a Benz, so they gotta let the world know I'm better than you, and they gonna say, I don't need that canned food shit, can I buy fresh shit? And that's rude as hell. So to me, it's just like the ghetto person, the bougie person on different spectrums of the economic status or spectrum, but they show their ass. But one got some money, one might not. You know what I mean? And then you gotta. What I like about it is that, man, when I say good, I mean you got a person that kind of know where they from, and they not scared to let the person know where they from. So I'm never ashamed of being born on the East Side because there's nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I mean?
I got something to add to that too.
Okay.
So, you said hood, bougie, hood, ghetto, and bougie.
Right.
And this is why we keep probably out there, like, one of them, each one I can keep secret for certain reasons.
Okay.
Like a hood person, to me, I went to Judson, right? Now Judson was known as a rough school at one point.
Right.
And when I was there, it was still known as a rough school. It was from 01 to 05. It was still pretty rough. And we had a lot of my people that I went to school with didn't really associate with them that much, but some of them just not getting out of jail, for stupid stuff. And so this one girl, she went there like 97 or something like that. We started talking, and she said, I said, I went to Judson. She's like, oh, so you hood, huh? You hood? I was like, yeah, I'm hood. I said, I know what's up. So every time I talk to people, like, oh, man, you're such an Oreo. And y'all know what I mean with Oreo, right? Like, oh, you're such a white guy. I said, first of all, just because I'm black and I don't have to speak loudly or improperly does not mean I don't know what's going on.
Right.
It just means that that's just how I talk. But it doesn't mean I'm not aware of what's going on. Now, I may not be out there, and my parents tell me all the time, say, oh, you were so sheltered, and we should. My dad said, man, we should have moved on the east side. I said, what you mean? I said, what you mean? He said, y'all was too sheltered because we lived on. I said, but if you're able to move into a middle class neighborhood, why would you not do that? So I was trying to understand what he was saying, and I guess what hood is like to me is like you're about that community, you're about that neighborhood,
right? And
you ain't about to let nobody come in your hood. You ever seen our YouTube video of hood deer?
Nah.
Yeah.
You see a hood deer, and deer like, hey, what's up with this? And then the cat was like, yo, no, he would come my hood, like disrespect my hood. And the cat slapped the deer, and the deer was like, hey, so he ran off. He's like, oh shit, and he ran off. And so the cat was trying to protect his hood. Like he's like, hey man, you gonna come my neighborhood and start all this mess, and then just bounce out. And you don't necessarily have to be like a loud person or outspoken. I mean, you could be a hood person and still be as quiet as I am. I consider myself quiet because I'm not a real out loud spoken. Hey man, hey, I'm watching you, right? Like you can look at them and like you show that look like I'm watching you. I see you in my hood, and you over here starting all this mess. So I got the police, and you got me, you got to deal with. You like going through all that, so they kind of know. Like hood, you just watch out for your neighborhood, you watch out for your people, and it's like. And if they're new, you watch out for them too. You're like, hey, I know you're new here. I'm kind of neighborhood watch, not officially, but this is my hood. This is what we call it. We call it our hood. Now, ghetto is a whole other story. For me, ghetto is like you're loud for no reason,
right?
Outspoken for no reason, and you cause a scene for no reason. If your boss tells you, come to my office, I need to speak to you. Why you need to come out? Why need to come in my office? I ain't not talking to you. If you gonna probably let me know, I just walk out. You know what? Whatever. I'm gone. Don't even worry about it. Boss might be trying to call you might be trying to call you and tell you, hey, we like what you doing, we'll give you a raise, but you start all this craziness because you think and you're perceiving that they're calling you to their office to tell you something negative.
Right.
Instead of thinking, okay, let me go see what they want. Now, most of the time, it's usually negative. But don't cause a scene. I've been let go from plenty of jobs where I did not cause a scene. I could have. And they could have called, and they never had to call security. Oh, we need y'all to walk him out. I walk myself out. Hey, I'm going to walk myself out. I don't need y'all to be calling nobody, cause a scene. I'm going to walk out. Ghetto. Oh, y'all got to walk me out. I'm going to call my man. He going to come here. He going to blow this bitch up. Really? Really?
And you say you gonna blow some shit up?
And that's gonna get you put in jail. Yes, that's a terroristic threat.
Right.
Now, bougie. Oh my God. Bougie. I'm not bougie at all. I can't stand I'm not gonna say I can't stand bougie people, but I don't understand them. If I take you to, I don't know, to me, Pompeii. Y'all been to Pompeii on Nacogdoches? Pompeii Grill?
I have.
Okay, so Pompeii to me is expensive. I think that's kind of bougie.
Okay.
Right? My ex-wife, yes, I'm throwing her out there. I ain't gonna say her name, but I'm throwing her out there. She said to me one day, she said, we're gonna start doing what I like. This is lunch to me. Now, how you gonna say, oh, you ain't working? You ain't working. I'm working. I'm taking care of the household. That she said, mind you, she said we were barely in, but I was never late on the rent. I always had the rent paid on time. But we're barely in there. Oh, thank you. Bougie. Bougie. Now, mind you, your dad grew up in North Carolina. Your mama grew up with family over in Hawaii, a military family in Hawaii. Dad grew up in North Carolina fixing cars in the backyard. He's a shade tree mechanic. So you had Bougie get with shade tree mechanic. Now, what do you think happened? They moved from FM 78, which is our hood, over to Cibolo. Bougie. What you moving for when you have your house is nearly paid off? Live right there in Woodlake. Nice little neighborhood. Move. Bougie. Because you want to got this persona like, oh, we don't need to be here. We need to be around all these other people that don't give two flips about us, could care less, but we're gonna move over here because it's more prestige. I'm not about prestige. I'm about people watching my back. Hey man, I see somebody looking in your car earlier, like, oh, that was my son or whatever. I know it wasn't your son, it was some other kid. Like, for real? You sure? Like, yeah, like I chased them off. They're like, all right, man, I appreciate that. That's hood. To me, right. You're looking out for your folks. Now you got some ghetto folks that have to mix in with the hood. Ghetto ain't gonna tell you nothing. They gonna like, shoot, I should look up there myself.
They the one that they the one
that look in the car. They gonna look in the car. But you got the hood be like, hey, Arthur, I'm gonna tell your mama. Don't tell your mama. No, I'm calling her right now. As soon as you get home, she got to switch out. So why you looking at somebody else's car? she got to switch. She over there waiting with a switch in her hand, right. Just kind of swinging it around. So that to me, that's my definition of hood, ghetto, and bougie. And for me, I guess you could say I'm a little bit of hood, not too much ghetto, because I try not to bring that side out if I don't have to. Because I consider hood kind of combative. I mean, not hood, sorry. I consider ghetto very combative. You gonna say like I say all I gotta say, let's fight. So you gonna fight me or not? It's one or the other. So either you gonna argue with me or we're gonna throw hands. So I try to keep that part contained.
Okay, so and then like
that's the one I keep. That's the person inside me I keep secret.
But see, man, like with me, man, I want a woman to know how to act like a woman. So I want a woman that when you take her out, she looks good. Her hair is done. She smells good. Like she's soft. You know what I mean? Not soft like she ain't gonna do nothing, but soft and like you feel like you can cuddle up with her. You know what I mean? And you feel like
she ain't gonna trip when you can try to cuddle up with her.
Right. So I want somebody that be like, okay, well, I want you to protect me, JP, but I ain't gonna be like, hey, you should whoop this nigga ass because he up there looking at me. You know, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's like
if you kind of said something disrespectful, then
right.
you speak with him.
I just feel like, you know, like me personally, I should want somebody to look at the person I'm with. You know, not disrespectful, but it's kind of like, oh, okay. So I kind of want that. You know what I mean? Because if nobody wanted it, it's kind of telling you, why do you want it? You know, but
for different reasons, like she said.
True. But you know,
reasons.
True. But sometimes you want if you want it, somebody else you want it. But not you know, not because, you know. But I just feel like a woman's appearance, she gotta look like a woman. She smell good, she look good. And when she appreciates stuff, man. So like a woman, you take her out, you know, like to me, the first date should be like a movie, something like that. Picnics to me are kind of like adventurous.
Maybe she's adventurous though.
Okay. And another reason why hikes is like this, 'cause I'm a big dude. So when I take a woman on a hike, either I'm just going. Let's say you go with another let's say I go with a girl and she's a big girl.
Big girl, okay.
And then she don't get up the damn hike. I'm like, well, why you asking me to do this then? And then the opposite of that is you get a girl that she just like, and I'm just like, man, I'm playing football. This girl just gonna put me on blast, you know. But I'm a lineman though, you know what I mean? Or a lineman. But you get what I'm saying?
A lineman.
Or a lineman, you know. So I always feel like with a hike or something like that, it's like either I'm on. You know, either like you real athletic, I'm not athletic as you, or you know, or vice versa. And I always like, ugh.
Well, that's why you don't go hard on the, like, you know, like
You're kind of jolly.
yeah, okay, I went on a hike with some coworkers a couple years ago, and they thought I was gonna be one sucking wind. This is out here in Los Maples, out in Vanderpool, and it had an incline. It had an incline of rocks, right? So I'm thinking they're gonna be jump. I'm the one running up the hill, and they come on, y'all, let's go. So they're like, I'm like, what's up? Let's go. And they're like, hey, we tired. I'm like, y'all the ones. And then so when we call one of our friends, and she's like, so was Ben sucking away? I said, no, I was the one running back down the hill, grabbing to come up the hill. So sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover. I've been a Boy Scout since I was 9. So, and to be quite honest, I was not as nearly as athletic as I am now at that time. And I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's reverse youth. I don't know. But I mean, back then I couldn't. I was like, man, I ain't fucking like up that hill. Forget that.
So man, you found the fountain youth.
Something like that.
Why you ain't talking about it?
Man, because I don't think it's a fountain youth shit. When I find out what it is, bro, I think it's all in the person.
Well, when you find the fountain youth, let me know, and I might play 2 more years of semi.
You done, bro. You was 5-time All-Star. Okay. You ain't got nothing else to prove, dog. You good.
Right.
Hall of Fame. Respect that man. Ballot. Hall of Fame.
Well, I appreciate you.
He should have been in the Hall of Fame already. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to have a picket line for this man to go to the Hall of Fame. It's gonna happen. Y'all heed this warning. Ben Newsom said, JP and Creator. The lineman. The lineman for who was it?
Man, I played with a couple teams.
For a couple teams, who's last name?
I played for I'm gonna talk like this. I played for the Ravens. I played for the Generals.
The
Mavericks.
The
Bandits.
The Bandits.
Played a little bit for
Duville.
I played a little bit for the Hurricanes.
And the Hurricanes. Y'all respect that man. The lineman. Hall of Fame ballot. 5-time.
I said a general, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All-Star. Okay, so we're running out of time.
We'll let her finish what she got.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Queen. Go ahead.
I'm just like 5 times Hall of Fame, huh?
Man,
No, 5-time All-Star.
5-time All-Star. He is 5-time All-Star. They disrespecting that man. Ain't put him in the Hall of Fame yet. So closing. So what y'all got to say on what's your closing statement, JP? What you think? What's your take on men keeping certain women secret?
I guess they have their reason.
Well,
They have their reason. Different reasons. Once again, this would be a great discussion. If sometimes you can tune in other people, they give their input there for them to call in, for them to give their opinions as well. This will make this conversation even more exciting to hear from others that's listening and tuned in on their opinions on why men keep women secret.
If y'all listening to this, ladies and gentlemen, what she just said is let's like, subscribe, and leave a comment on why men keep certain women secret.
Yeah, so we can continue this discussion continuously on others' opinions as well. I would love to hear more from others on their opinions on this subject. So if you're listening in, you're tuned in at this time, continuously to subscribe, share, and so on and so forth, and leave opinions so that we can understand even more so why men keep women secret. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and close out for myself, since you have now tuned in to Jacqueline Jackson, also known as Queen Jacqueline, so family, friends, and so I'm Jackie, and to the ones that love me the most, I'm Mama Green and Ain't Jackie. I'm tuning in out. I appreciate you both, you guys, for the discussion on today. It was very exciting and interesting, and I want to look forward for you guys to give me a call at a later time to continue other conversations and topics as well. Is that okay?
That's completely fine with us.
Well, let me because the next show is gonna be a really good show too. But in summary, I'm saying you gotta look at yourself and you gotta say, first of all, you gotta have self-worth. I don't care if you're big, small, skinny. You gotta love yourself.
That's right.
And I think that a lot of men and women, they don't know their self-worth. Not like, well, I'm hot, I'm this, I'm that. You gotta know your self-worth, because everybody, if they act right and are respectful of others, can be a good date, can be a great date. Can be the date that somebody put a ring on if you know how to treat that person that took you out. But when you don't know how to do that, then you're not worthy of it. You know, and when you can't appreciate a man, if you're a woman, or even if even if you like men, even if you're gay or lesbian, and somebody invites you out, you gotta appreciate that person. It takes a certain kind of courage for that person to be bold enough to say, I want to talk to that person. And I always respected that. I thought that was cool. And how you approach that person says a lot about yourself. And you become a 12 or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock person by the way you act. Some women are gorgeous. And they call you at 1 or 2 o'clock because you don't know how to act. When you go in a restaurant, you talking about people. Men don't like that. They'll call you at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And then like women like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, wow, we call you at 1 or 2. Let's just be real.
Cardi B, Miss Wop.
But you don't cook and clean, but then you wonder why I do that after you come on.
Yeah. Well, my closing statement with it is, I have a child. I guess God decided that because I was clowning when I was in college. I ain't gonna lie. I went from I ain't really talked to any females to I had to snatch them up left and right. If she came to me like, oh, what's up there? You want it? All right, cool.
You like,
and all of a sudden,
get over here.
Get over here. All that stuff, get over here. Come back here. Get away from here, girl. You know, I just started throwing back to like, I will throw you back. Like, you know, so God decided I needed to have a little girl. And that child, believe it or not, I went from a very, you know, careless man to a very, I care more now because now my child is the one that's going to be that girl that guy's going to be like, say girl, hey girl, what's up girl? And I was that dog out there, you know, like say girl, what's up? You know, and just, you know, breathing hard. Ooh, man, she hot. Now my daughter going to be that one. They're like, oh man, she hot. I'm going to be the one where like, in the background, like, yeah, I got my pistol waiting for you too. Like, come on over here.
You don't got a shotgun?
Not yet. I'm getting one.
Okay.
So my daughter has made me see the light. Like, and she's very and believe it or not, a lot of people are like, man, like she's so pretty. Like, what the? That's you? Like, that's me. Like, that's me. That's me. Like, that's been the awesome news right there. And my child is very like, no, don't touch me. Like, she 4, she'll tell you, no, don't touch me. Like, no. And my buddy Gino was like, he said, dude, like, why is your daughter so pretty? Like, bro, we have to fight people in here. Like, I was like, hey, you see her in the mall? Like, let me know. What make it happen? Like, it was like bad boys. But anyways, make a long story short, I do feel like you need to know your worth. Whether you're male, female, gay, straight, lesbian, it doesn't matter. You need to know your worth. And if somebody's calling you 1 o'clock in the morning, then it's like, why can't you call me during the daytime? Oh, I'm busy, or I have things to do. Those are excuses. You make time for who you want to make time for. And I'm guilty of that sometimes too. Like I'm sitting watching the game, but then I'm calling somebody at 10 o'clock at night, hey, what you doing? And it could be as simple as, you know, I just didn't think about calling until that time because they end up putting themselves in that category. So those are people I probably would not tell my mom about at all, like ever. And that's just what I had to say about it. So what's going to be the next show? Man, Queen, I know you got to go, so did you want us to let you go?
Well, I just want to tell the next show real quick, I think she'll appreciate it. The next show, man, I was scrolling down Facebook, and I was looking at the lady's name is Holly Washington. And she's my friend on Facebook, and you know how, you know, we see somebody attractive, and we like them. And so I seen her Facebook, and the post she had on there was like, wow. And it was basically saying how she kind of transformed from being, you know, like a woman that shows off her body and
would be a secret.
Wants attention, like being a, what they call that, thirst trap.
Thirst trap, okay.
Yeah, and then she, you know, so she in her post talked about that. And so basically the title of the show is YeahManThePodcast, episode 16, Self-Love, A Woman's Story. So I just think that's going to be a really good podcast. And
she's going to be here in person?
I want to say so.
Okay.
So, but either way, you know, I think it's going to be really positive. And you should tune in, Miss Queen.
That's good.
Yeah, they're very good.
So she made the total transformation, huh?
Oh yeah, like I like that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna ruin it, but
yeah. She got to tell a story. It's very. It's something that I think pastors nowadays should preach about. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the Bible is mainly men, but why can't we talk about the great women like Mary and Ruth when we in church? I don't feel like that should just be women meeting. You know, women Bible study. I feel like that should be in Sunday church, because everybody don't go to men's group or women's group. And why do we got to hide that if really good women out here. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't learn from Abraham how to be a good man, how to be a good woman. Excuse me, how to be a good woman. So that is my opinion.
Well, I feel we shouldn't hide that there's pretty good women out here.
Right.
I feel that it should be open. That's something to be proud of. That's something to be grateful of and praise and to uplift.
Right.
I feel that as far as life is concerned, that's the word of God. That's His word, and we should live accordingly. Honestly, we are the church. Yes, they have churches closed, and closing, but if you get that word, I'm telling you, He says that we are the temple of God. So we need to embrace that and act accordingly. I feel as far as whether it's hood, ghetto, sophisticated, bougie, whatever, we should treat people the way we want to be treated regardless of the situation.
Right.
And we should act accordingly. We need to love ourselves. Once we love ourselves and learn who we are, everything else will follow.
Right.
And that's my opinion on everything. So I too will be writing my story. I will also be looking forward towards writing it in the book, doing it in faith, and also a movie as well on Queen Jacqueline. Life story, the life of Jacqueline Jackson. In the meantime, in between time, I just want you guys to keep your head up, stay uplifted, continuously to let your dreams and your goals to flourish, keep reaching towards them. I think this podcast is awesome to be able to reach others that's out there that may need comfort, conversations, and communication within. So with that being said, y'all keep up the good work, keep up the awesome work. Keep you posted. I will be listening in as well. And for that, be blessed. Each and every one of you now tuned in to us, and we are appreciative, and we should do continue.
Thank you very much.
That's my take on it.
All right.
And that's the
All
show.
right.
And that's the show. Y'all have a good night.
God bless.
Good night.